Okay, so the first thing you want to get, and this sounds so weird and so odd, but it works and it's cheap. You want to go to your local Staples, Lowe's, CVS, anywhere, Walmart that has trash cans. It doesn't need to be the most expensive trash can in the world. Matter of fact, I got this one for under 10 bucks. So you can find a decent trash can for a pretty decent price. All you're looking for is what I like to call the dominant plastic. It's that plastic that's kind of thick. You can see it on the edge right here. You want it to be semi-thick. If it's really thin stuff, you're not going to be able to heat it up and use it. So you want to be able to heat it up and form it. You know, the cool thing about this size trash can, this type of trash can, is it's pretty rigid, and that tells me that it's good. If I hit the side and it kind of flims in a little bit, it might be too flimsy and a little too thin. So I want something that's going to be solid, so when I move around, it still looks like armor.
And this is what's the recycle code on this one?
Oh, that's a good question. Recycle code on this one's a 5, so probably right around a 5,
yeah.
Or 4 on the recycle code.
And that means it's going to be more elastic and not as brittle as
Absolutely.
like Sterilite.
Right, you don't want Sterilite. Sterilite is like something they like to make cheap trash cans with, so you have to be careful with that. You don't want that because it will, the minute you go to melt it, it will literally melt. That's not good.
Or shatter crack when you cut it, or...
Yeah, absolutely, yep.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do you mind if I turn the TV off?
Okay, so my next step now is to take these and put them on here. Now, normally I do this with a Sharpie, because normally I can find a white or tan trash can. But for whatever reason, during a snowstorm, you can't seem to find a white trash can. So I found a black one. So I'm going to use a white crayon, just so that I can actually see what I'm doing. All you need to do is put the template right on the trash can and basically trace it. Because you want to be able to see what you're cutting when you cut it. And there's really not much to this. You know, you can fudge it a little bit. If it doesn't quite go on perfect, don't panic or freak out.
You're going to be filing it later anyway.
Right. It doesn't quite look exactly the same as the piece of paper anyway, and that's the whole point of the template. They understand that you're actually going to be losing some space when you do this. And I always try to place everything so I can get maximum space I can. And the little diamond is like perfect for that. If there's space you want to take up later on, the diamond will actually take it up for you. So I'm just going through and tracing out all the little pieces I want to put in. I actually put the diamond in the center just like you probably should do, because it's just simpler that way, and you can save a ton of space. Chest pieces. Here's my diamond. And I actually might have placed that too close, so I'm actually going to move the diamond down here. Which is okay. The great thing about trash can armor is I usually can get 2, sometimes 3 sets out of a trash can armor.
And this style of trash can is smooth and flat on all 4 sides.
Right, so I can get, a lot out of it. So if you want to go in with your buddies, and that's the brilliance of trash can armor, and do a bunch of it together, I mean, you want to talk about cheap. Now you're talking about $10, maybe across 3 or 4 people. It's a couple bucks a piece. That's not bad considering what you're doing with the armor. So again, just tracing everything out, making sure I got all the pieces I need. Now, don't worry if you get down to the bottom like this where it's beveled on the edge. That's the brilliance of the heat gun we're going to use later on. If it's beveled, I can unbevel it. I don't need to do it the shape that the trash can's at. So there's that much. So I'll probably flip it over here to another side to do the next shoulder bell and belly plate. The one thing you don't want to do is the belly plate in particular. I always try to do on like the side piece so I have enough space, because you want to make sure you got enough that it's not quite beveled on all the edges, because that can be a pain. When you go to unbevel later on with the heat gun and you have to do like all 3 or 4 sides, it gets to be a pain. So it looks like for this one I'll probably get about 2 pieces of armor off it, but still, for basically I think 10 bucks I paid for this. You're talking about $5 per person for armor. That's a pretty good deal. Considering I paid, $50 for mine. Maybe a little bit more.
There's no sound coming out of the...
Alright, I'll take care of it in a second.
They know.
Okay, so this is the finished product. I've got on one side my 2 chest plates, my diamond, and my 1 shoulder bell. And then when I flip it to the side, I have another belly, another shoulder bell. Now just to show you what I can get out of this yet, I could get another 2 chest plates, diamond, shoulder bell, with another belly and another shoulder bell. So
In the medium armor.
right, on the medium size armor. Now if you go large size, I'll be honest, you're probably only going to get 1 set. But if you do medium size, you usually can get about 2 sets out of a trash can like this. So that's this step. We're going to go on to the next step in a minute, which is we're going to Dremel it out. I'll show you guys how to use a rotary tool and how to actually cut this out of the trash can now.